Amy, let me tell you about a magical place that is so exactly designed to be enclosed space, year-round fun for the whole family that I bet you already know what I'm going to say before I even say the name. Let's say it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Great Wolf Lodge. You got it, Amy.
My kids loved Great Wolf Lodge when we went. You probably already know that it has a huge indoor water park with a wave pool, lazy river, a bunch of massive water slides. But then your pack can hit the other attractions because, wait, there's more.
Great Wolf Lodge has adventure-packed attractions like Magi Quest, a live-action game kids can play throughout the lodge, plus the Northern Lights Arcade. Spent some quality time there, so your kid who loves the lazy river and your kid who loves fantasy games will both have a great time.
Great Wolf Lodge also offers great dining options and complimentary daily events like nightly dance parties, all under one roof. Unpack the car once and you're settled in to have fun. And with 22 lodges across the country, you're always a short drive away from adventure.
We've both had such great times at Great Wolf Lodge, so bring your pack together at a lodge near you. Learn more at greatwolf.com and strengthen the pack.
One of my kids had trouble with L's and W's, so his name was Woy Warm. What fresh hell?
Laughing in the face of motherhood. I like getting a massage. I like the way it feels, but I wouldn't really put it in the self-care category for me. It's like another job. With Margaret Abels
and Amy Wilson. You hate cucumbers? So you wouldn't eat like tzatziki or something either, which tastes like cucumbers.
A podcast that solves today's parenting dilemmas
so you don't have to. For me, stretching is like, can I bend over and put my hands past my kneecaps? Hello, everyone, and welcome to What Fresh Hell, Laughing in the Face of Motherhood. This is Margaret.
And this is Amy. Today, we're going to talk about extremely achievable forms of self-care.
I mean, I love this topic. I have one of my own that I indulged in yesterday. And while indulging in it, I thought, this is my extremely achievable form of self-care. I'm going to save it till after the mailbag, Amy.
Oh, yes. Wait a minute. Time for mailbag. Wait. Check the mailbag.
This week's mailbag comes from Emily in the Facebook group. You can join the Facebook group where 7,000 parents solve each other's problems, big and small, and serve as a warm source of support or a way to just clap back at the host of the What Fresh Hell podcast, as it turns out. This isn't a clap back.
Not my favorite part of the group, but no. Do it. Come for me if you must.
Facebook.com/groups/whatfreshhellcast.
Making fun of the size of my forehead is one thing. This is a useful and gentle correction.
Okay, right. All right. An amendment, if you will. Emily says, I'm catching up on the argument settling episode, which was actually 2 recent episodes where we settled very important arguments that aren't that important. Margaret said that using yeet is satisfying to her as a word, and also her kids do not appreciate when she uses young people language. Emily says, I would like to submit for the record that the word yeet, as in to throw away, is the opposite of yoink, as in snatching up unexpectedly, like stealing a fry off someone else's plate, and both originated in comic books of the mid-20th century as action words, so that the motion would be clear in the panel. One of my favorite things, Emily says, is ruining slang with etymology. That's her closer.
I mean, that's her form of self-care, and I love that. I believe I spoke of yoink in that episode. I definitely know that yoink is the opposite of yeet. If I did not speak to it, it was not for lack of knowledge, because if there's anything I know, it's that yoink is the opposite of yeet.
So yeet is to rapidly toss something away from you, and yoink is to rapidly pull something towards you, huh?
That's correct. But I did like the idea that these are from the comics and I should have no shame in using them.
Okay. All right.
I still should have shame, according to my children, about saying skibbity or low taper fade. I don't even know what either of them mean, so it's fine. I won't be using those. They're not as appealing to me. Skibbity I don't care about, but yeet and yoink are just very useful words, and it's because they're from the comics, and the comics taught us everything.
The comics teach us everything we need to know, as in the topic for this week's episode. What a segue that you didn't even know it.
Huge segue. Very nice.
This idea for this episode, extremely achievable self-care, came from a Richard Scarry cartoon. There's an Instagram account called Richard Scarry World that I love, because Richard Scarry's best word book ever. I love these books. I love them when my kids were little. I actually still love them. So
it's busy town.
It's busy town. Right. And you always see these memes of like, why are you disappointed by how life turned out for you? And it's like, because I thought it would be like this. And it's just, everybody driving in banana cars and waving to each other.
One of my nephews, because there's a little worm that you can find on almost every page, and his name is Lowly Worm, which is a great name. Lowly Worm. Who comes up with that? It's deranged.
One of my kids had trouble with L's and W's, so his name was Woy Worm. He could barely say it at all.
That's what I was thinking. That I can just hear my nephew, who is, by the way, getting married in September, being like, lowly. Maybe he was like, woey. There was something so cute about the way he would find him on the page. And yeah, there's something very
I think you're
magical.
thinking of Goldbug. I don't want to get another mailbag.
Oh, God, you're exactly right. I'm thinking of Goldbug. Goldbug, you have exactly, again, this was a gentle and correct correction. We have an expression in our family that's not unique to us. You've probably heard it before. Often in error, but never in doubt. And I just have the confident expression of my ideas. And then people are like, you're using that term completely wrong. That is absolutely insane. And yeet is not a new phrase, but we'll put this picture in the show notes. Just looking at this little picture from Richard Scarry is giving me joy chills.
I'm not sure that this was ever something that Richard Scarry would have titled Self-Care Day, but
it's not actually from Richard Scarry. This is like an Instagram wink wink, but just the pictures are giving me a great feeling of joy. And it's interesting because some of the things from childhood give me a very opposite feeling from that. There were things that just scared me in weird ways. But Richard Scarry, it's a visual warm hug.
It's just everybody's happy and everybody's busy. Nobody's lonely.
And it's
in
weird
busy
because they're
town.
pigs. And generally, I'm not a big pig fan. You know how people think pigs are cute? I think pigs are gross. I'm not a pig person.
Well, they're not all pigs.
I'm just not a pig person. I don't like them.
In this picture, they're all pigs.
But they're really, really cute in Richard Scarry land. It's just another data point for me.
As pictured. We're going to spend the whole podcast episode talking about a photo that you can't see, but I'm writing a note. There's one pig who's writing a note as a self-care day idea for himself, and Goldbug is there. That's where Goldbug is hanging out in this. He's hiding.
Oh, there's Goldbug. Yeah, I didn't even see him.
You can read a book. You can cut a rug. You can eat a pickle. These are self-care ideas. And this just spoke to me because I thought, right, when I hear self-care, I hear body scrub and an afternoon at the spa and who has time for that. We should have all of the time and all of the space and all of the disposable income for self-care. But when you don't, what is the littlest thing you can do that would still make you happy? So we went on Facebook and Instagram and we asked, we'd love to know, what is your extremely achievable and low-key form of self-care that also really works? Some of these aren't so low-key, so we'll save those for the end. But I loved some of the suggestions.
Yeah, I find, are you this person? I feel like I, on the podcast, am the laid-back person. And there are millions of things that I'm very laid back about. But I am also a person who has tremendous amounts of anxiety. And one of the ways my anxiety manifests is that I have trouble relaxing. So often when I go to get a massage, I spend the whole time being like, am I enjoying this enough? Am I relaxing enough? I spent money. But am I? And then I don't like hard pressure. But then if I make the pressure too soft, I'm like, no, I'm not getting anything out of this. I do not always find a massage to be a very relaxing experience.
Or you're like, why are they spending so much time on my forearms? I don't care. Right. Move on.
Yeah, I'm not tense there. And is it almost over? I'm getting kind of bored. I don't know. I don't find a massage to be the most. I like getting a massage. I like the way it feels, but I wouldn't really put it in the self-care category for me. It's like another job.
Well, extremely achievable form of self-care. This wasn't on my list, but it occurs to me now. It looks like a cane, but it has all these weird knobs that stick out of it. It's a total Amazon special. And when you have a knot in your back, upper back, lower back, I tend to get one between my shoulders. You can get this cane and you can just because it has the leverage, you can sort of pull on it from the front. And it is, this plastic thing in 5 minutes gets me better results than a massage.
I have seen those and I've always thought to myself, what kind of crazy person
who would use
this?
those?
And now I know. It's Amy Wilson.
It's me. Who did I read that uses? One of the guys, I think it was John Mulaney, that he uses it, and you can't use it too much because there's quickly diminishing returns. You dig around in there for 10 minutes and you'll be sorry.
Like street drugs, it just pays off a little less every time.
But it's extremely achievable. If you can't afford a massage right now or don't have the afternoon of childcare to go get one, you can just get this weird cane online and it works pretty well. It's extremely achievable.
My version of that, I'm like a dog. is my wooden from Chinatown back scratcher. It
haven't seen that.
is my
Like
purse.
a rake?
It's like a stick with a little wooden hand on the end with it's a rake. And you just scratch your back with it. And it is nirvana. Like it is seeing the face of God. Like when you get a bad back scratch. Now I keep it in my nightstand drawer. And my children found it. And I went to scratch my back the other day and my back scratcher is gone. And we are going to have a family meeting tonight. And someone better confess to having stole it because some sticky figured monster went in and stole my back scratcher and took my nirvana from me.
I've never wanted to have my back scratched, but I've never tried it.
Now I get my husband to scratch. I'm like, oh, scratch my back. But then I yell at him a lot because I'm like, no, it's to the left. No, it's up. Sometimes it turns into trouble.
This is more extremely achievable. Just go to Chinatown.
Just get 99 cents. And it's the one I have right now is metal and it's on an extendable arm. And I have to say I like the wooden one better. Sometimes the metal's a little cold.
I saw this on Instagram and I'm like, yes, this is it, and it explains it so well. It said, allowing yourself 5 minutes extra to get somewhere is one of the loveliest forms of self-care. I wish I remember who said it. I didn't. It was just a shareable image on Instagram. And I thought, that's it. I am not intense or extra because I want to get somewhere, allow enough time to get somewhere and maybe an extra 5 minutes. That for me is relaxing. Some people that I live with would maybe find it not relaxing, but I don't want to walk in at 11:59 for something that starts at noon. I'd like to get there at 5 too.
There are many rules that we revisit time and time again. The leading one being don't bring your phone into your bedroom. That I agree with 1,000% and have come to accept that I will never do. And I feel that getting there 5 minutes early is one of them. I mean, I do get to the airport early, but I'm constantly running late. I understand it stresses me out in the wrong way, but committing to always being 5 minutes earlier. In fact, just now, before our recording, one of my kids had a guitar lesson and we've been running late every time. And there's a little kind of spot between here and there that is always backed up. And I'm always late. And then I'm like, we paid for the lesson and now I'm going crazy. And so today I was like, we're leaving early. And we got there like 10 minutes early and we were both really annoyed to be early.
Really?
It's hard to find that sweet spot.
What do I do at this time?
I want to be there right on time.
Yeah, it's not like moral superiority. It's just, oh, phew, right? Then you don't have to worry about that one intersection that gets backed up, right? Like, it's there.
No, it's the right thing to do, but I have trouble with it.
Michaeline said this. I liked this, that it's extremely achievable. She has her morning coffee with as much creamer as she wants to. She says, whether it's in my favorite mug on a weekend morning or it's in a tumbler that I drink at work, I have no guilt over my sweet coffee that brings me so much joy. I have a family member who recently was saying to me, they have coffee with sugar every morning, but they really needed to stop because sugar is bad and you need to stop having so much sugar. Like, do you like coffee without sugar in it? No, I don't, but I have to. I have to learn to like coffee without sugar in it because sugar is bad. And like the amount of sugar that's in a packet of sugar is not going to change your health outcome. And you like it that way.
I mean, we're not doctors, but we're here to say, cut that out. This is something that I believe 100%. I am all about joy in life and that many forms of joy have bad results. And so the joy of, let's say, cigarette smoking, I think probably not worth it,
That's not self-care. You're not caring for yourself. Hard to argue.
No, but like the joy of a good meal, miss me with the tips. Should I be eating like 4 bowls of Reese's Puffs at 11 o'clock because I'm bored and stressed? That might be worth examining because it's not an actual joyful feeling. But the joy of removing food. And I just was reading something about this with the new weight loss shots, that it takes away your appetite, like it kills your appetite. And one of the big side effects for people is depression because the joy of food leaves you. And I mean, maybe it's worth the trade-off for people. I'm not here to comment on semaglutides, but I really thought about that. Like, oh, that makes a lot of sense to me. I think that if I lost my appetite, the thing of like, well, if you could, lose your appetite, would you? Because then you would be thin. I'm like, oh my God, 1,000,000,000,000,000 times no. Like the taste joys are so good.
And to actually find joy, first of all, you have to be the kind of person that finds joy in that creamer you put in your coffee, right? Your favorite kind, it's hazelnut, whatever. To notice that you love that, I think is already somebody who's giving themselves good self-care, right? And then to say like, this is a little treat. I mean, it's minuscule, but it's a treat you're giving yourself each day. It's not an entire pie, it's a spoonful of something and then maybe two if you feel like it, and then get joy chills from that.
It's the same as your back relaxer. Like you can't do it every day. You can't do it 8 times a day because it doesn't feel as good if you do it all the time. It's got to stay a treat.
Yes, a treat. Jennifer said regarding the Richard Scarry thing, eat a pickle was one of its suggestions. And she said, I'm not going to lie, eating pickles is absolutely self-care for me. A good pickle is an achievable form of self-care.
Pickle is one of those foods that people love so much. And I don't think I could eat a pickle if you gave me $1,000. I hate cucumbers. They're my most forbidden food, which no one understands.
You hate cucumbers? So you wouldn't eat like tzatziki or something either, which tastes like cucumbers.
Every once in a while, I get a cocktail and they put like cucumber juice in it if there's a drop in there. And people say that cucumbers have no taste. They do, because I can taste it in anything and it's gross. And then a pickled version of that, well,
I'm here to tell you that pickles don't taste like cucumbers. Pickles taste like pickle juice. They taste like crunchy pickle juice. But you do you. You do you.
I don't want them.
All right. We'll be right back with less controversial forms of self-care.
Police.
Hellions, it's time for some spring cleaning, and I don't just mean the coat closets. Doing your financial spring cleaning can actually be super easy when you let Monarch do your financial spring cleaning for you. One dashboard that gets your entire financial life organized. No more clutter, no more mess, no more logins scattered everywhere, just accounts, investments, property, and more, all in one place. Get your first year of Monarch for half off, just $50 with promo code FRESH. Monarch allows you to look not only at what you've already spent, but also to plan for the future. With Monarch, you can set savings goals, plan for big purchases, and notice spending trends before they become a problem. I can generate cash flow reports that show me what we spent this quarter, this month, what we're probably going to spend next month, and feel prepared, organized, and knowing how to plan for the future. No more surprises and a lot more clarity. Try Monarch. Use code FRESH at monarch.com to get your first year half off at just $50. That's 50% off your first year at monarch.com with code FRESH.
All my kids learned to swim when they were little. It was super important to me that they be confident and safe in the water. There was only one problem with that: taking them to swim lessons. The pools were freezing. There were always cranky adults doing laps right there. And it was definitely not, for any of us, what you would call fun.
Amy, heard. But now there's Goldfish Swim School. Goldfish takes a really thoughtful approach to swim lessons, combining research-based teaching with a warm, kid-friendly environment that actually helps kids thrive in the water.
Every detail at Goldfish is thoughtfully designed to create a golden experience, from shiver-free, warm indoor pools to comfy waiting areas for parents to professionally trained lifeguards on deck.
Goldfish uses an approach called the science of swim play, which combines guided play with proven teaching techniques to help kids learn to swim, build water safety skills, and gain confidence, all at their own pace. Lessons are designed to meet kids exactly where they're at.
If you've been thinking about swim lessons or just wondering where to start, this is a great opportunity. Right now, Goldfish Swim School is offering a waived membership plus your child's first lesson free at participating locations.
Just visit goldfishswimschool.com/free to find a location near you and enroll using promo code FREE.
That's goldfishswimschool.com/free, promo code FREE.
At DSW, we ask the important questions, like, what shoes are you going to wear? Whether you're prepping for wedding season, festival season, or just planning the ultimate vacay, the right shoes can make or break an RSVP. So own the moment. You've got big plans, and we've got just the shoes. At the perfect price, of course. Get ready to get ready with Designer Shoe Warehouse. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today and let us surprise you.
Maggie has one, and this is on my list to work on. Extremely achievable and low-key form of self-care, stretching, even 30 seconds at a time. Now, I am from a family of very unbendy people, to the point that there are multiple people in my gene pool who cannot sit crisscross applesauce. They cannot sit on the ground with their legs crossed.
Like even with like their knees way up in the air, like it just doesn't happen?
cannot do it physically.
How do they sit when they sit on the floor? Do they not sit on the floor?
They can like rest their legs over them, but they can't get into that crisscross.
Like they'd stick their legs out in front of them and kind of cross their ankles or something.
Yeah, okay. Or like they just leave them kind of half over each other in a basic approximation of it.
Okay, all right, but not, okay, wow.
I don't think there is a member of my extended family who can touch their toes from a standing position. We just are not bendy people. Never.
I talked to Renee Reina about this from the mom room, that I like to do yoga. And she's like, I like to do yoga too. And then we talked about how we were both very flexible people. And we're like, yeah, see, like I get an A+ at yoga because I'm very flexible. So that makes me want to stretch more. So I stretch all the time. I stretch while I'm waiting for my coffee to brew. I stretch while I'm like waiting for the thing in the microwave to be done.
Well, la-di-da to you.
It feels good and I'm good. Yeah, and my body is that way. Therefore, I'm like, look at me, all stretchy.
I also like yoga. I like the strong feeling of yoga, like the plank position and the pushing and stuff like that, and the warrior kind of positions. But the sun salutation, I just have to skip whole parts of it. Like I can't, when they say like you're in downward dog, lift your leg up and put it between your front feet. I just cannot do that. It's not possible for me. And I sometimes just explain to the yoga teacher, like, hey, I'm going to try my best. And I can get a little bit more flexible. When I was young, I was in ballet, and there was a part of the performance where we had to hold our foot and put it above our heads while holding onto our foot. And I had to work on it for like 6 months to get it where I could just hold it long enough before I had to put it down. But like many of the girls in my ballet class, they would start the class by doing that 400 times. I mean, I'm not bendy.
Maggie says, and I thought this was an interesting point, that she's stretching as a form of self-care because she can't get in the workout. She says, my 3-year-old has a spidey sense that triggers consciousness if I try to wake up before anyone else. So alone time for a morning workout and shower is not in the cards. And I work full time. So stretching I can do anywhere. It doesn't require a shower and can take as long as she has. So that's what she's doing instead.
I think it makes a lot of sense. And I would like to add stretching a little bit more into my routine, but it is frustrating because for me, stretching is like, can I bend over and put my hands past my kneecaps? Often the answer is no.
Yeah. And does it feel good when you do it, or is it like...
It just feels like I'm dumb and old and terrible. But, you know, it's you just have to take the part out. You're only competing against yourself. You know, like, can I stretch farther? Not, can I stretch as far as the girl in the Olympics who's like putting her foot in her mouth? No.
Bridget says her form of self-care is walking the dog while listening to a podcast that validates the chaos of her phase of life, also known as What Fresh Hell. Thank you, Bridget.
Yay. Hi, Bridget. I hope you're walking the dog right now while you're listening.
I don't really I have a dog, and I don't really enjoy walking the dog. I mean, I do if I'm somewhere pretty, I guess. I don't mind it. You know, walking around New York City is just like, here we go. You walk her to the park, or you just walk around the block a couple times. I don't hate it. I don't like it. There's 100 other things I could be doing. But I listen to podcasts while I walk the dog, and it turns it into something that's a little bit of a treat for myself, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big walker, especially, I love to walk when it's nice outside. I do not like to walk when it's gross outside, which in New York is 5 months out of the year. But one thing I have started really getting in the habit of doing is I have a gym class that I go to at 9:00 on Monday mornings, and I do really actually like starting the week there. It's become so non-negotiable that I just go. I don't think about whether or not I'm going to go. And then I have a Friday morning yoga class. And it's like, I like bookending my week with something physical. I do really like the way that makes me feel, but I still have to overcome it. Like if I have any small excuse not to do it, it's the first thing to fall off my plate, but I know it's good for me.
And you kind of enjoy it while you're going, not just after you're going.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never been like, I am actually enjoying working out, but I don't know the answer to that. I think maybe I just like so much having been that's how I start my week. I just like it, so I do it. No, do I enjoy doing it? No, I don't think so.
Emily says, I understand where she's coming from here, that her form of self-care is taking a couple of minutes to put on eye makeup and lipstick, even while her kids are saying, mommy, 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 and right next to her, she takes a couple of minutes to make herself feel good because she looks good. And I have been on both sides of this. I have been the like, it is self-care for me today to put a hair in a ponytail for 3 weeks and no makeup and I don't care, and letting go of that stuff is self-care. And then there's definitely times where it's like, this is self-care for me to put on concealer so I don't have to look at my dark circles all day, every day.
I find, especially as I get older, I used to do a lot of like take a shower, hair in the top messy bun. And I do find right now I have the Revlon brush that like heat blows out my hair in 5 minutes. And I find when I don't do it, I just feel like Stregonona walking around. Like I see myself, I don't know. I would love to say like I'm so free of that let's not care what we look like anymore. But it bums me out. It does bum me out when I just feel like I'm in stretchy pants with my Stregonona bun. And I don't know. I do. I like to blow out my hair. I mean, I don't. I wish that I could just wake up with my hair looking like this and never think about it again. But it's gotten, gray and curly in weird places. And I just find I feel better when I blow it out. And I don't like that. I wish I was like, I don't know, secure or feminist enough to be like, I don't care what I look like. But I don't.
I know, but what's the name of the actress who stopped wearing makeup, who's fascinating everybody right now? Pamela Anderson. But of course, she's like a legendary beauty. And so it's strange to see somebody who used to wear a lot of makeup, a lot of artifice in her look. But she still has a beautiful face, right? So like you can do it if you look like Pamela Anderson.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk about that for 10 years. Like, where is that all coming from and what's it about? But for myself right now, I'm like, I'm not breaking through any feminist walls. I'm just blow drying my hair because I feel better.
Because you feel a little better. Right. There's some days that I do. That's for sure.
I love this from Anna because this is me too. I love pens and making lists. Most evenings, I sit with a treat drink like seltzer with syrup or sweet tea and make a list for the next day. A very nerdy self-care. I mean, I so believe in this form of self-care. I have shockingly moved to an iPad. I now do this all on an iPad. I would have said I could never get off of my books, but I used to like all the washi tape and the dotted journals and it gives me such a sense of control to sit down and make a list. It calms me. It just puts an ice pack on my amygdala and it's like, it's all going to be okay. Look, there's a list. I love it.
Mm-hmm. I do it in the morning instead of at night, but I don't have little kids to get out the door to school. So I can do this with my coffee in the morning instead of at night. But I love it too, because you don't have to wonder what you're not remembering, right? You go through, here's what I want to do today. Here's what I need to do today. Here's what I'd like to do today.
I like it at night because it helps me go to sleep being like, all's right in the world and everything is now as it must be.
It's on a list.
I know what I have to do.
I like the idea of Anna saying she has a treat drink like seltzer with syrup. I've never tried that, but I love a treat drink. That's an extremely achievable form of self-care. But I am trying to branch out and be like, a treat drink can be like tea, right? Let me look at all the weird kinds of tea that I've bought myself. I have more flavors of tea in the house than I know what to do with. I'm picking one and, letting it steep and adding honey and having that be my treat instead of a glass of wine. Like branching out. Or my husband got me, I don't even know what it's called. They're like tinctures that you put in a glass of water. I don't know. It's nice. It's fine. It's an extremely achievable form of self-care.
I love it. Melissa, and I've just been doing this. She says drawing, reading, or walking, but I'm going to double click on drawing.
Don't do all three at once.
Yeah, don't try to do all of these things at once. You'll have a terrible accident. The pencil, you'll fall, and the pencil will stab you in the neck.
Oh, yeah.
Be terrible.
You'll lose your place.
You'll end up
book.
on the pit on TV. That's one of my forms of self-care is binging shows while I fold the laundry. I'm right now on the Pit with Noah Wiley. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, yeah. I heard it's like ER, but way more gross with like the...
Yeah, I have to fast forward through some of the medical stuff and I leave the volume down because sometimes they're like, they make like these really gross noises while they're like...
Foley artist. Right. I don't need to hear what a transplant sounds like.
Yeah, I'm good. Like everyone's like, wow, that's really what it sounds like to pull out someone's eyeball. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to ever hear that.
No.
But... that's just my one for right now. But I like to fold my laundry and watch a little showy show. That's one of my self-cares. But drawing, I think I've discussed this, but last Christmas, my husband's gotten very good after many horrible Christmas fights at getting me Christmas gifts that I mention. So now, also because he has his iPad all the time, when I say like, oh, that looks cool, he'll write it down. At some point, I must have said that looks cool to a painting. They advertise them on Instagram a lot. It's paint by numbers. It's a painting that you paint yourself. It is so relaxing. I can't recommend it highly enough. I have zero artistic ability, none. But it's just a paint by numbers. Like you just fill in each little square. And then at the end, mine was Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. Now, did it look exactly like Starry Night? Not really. But it was so relaxing.
I love this idea because I am like to watercolors and visual art, kind of stuff. Like you were saying about stretching. I'm terrible at it. So if I try to like pick up a paintbrush and paint something, I'm mostly I don't find it freeing or relaxing or a form of self-care. I'm like, why am I so bad at this? I can't.
This is like a coloring book.
Paint by numbers, yeah.
You know the adult coloring books that were popular for a while? Jenny Lawson had one. It's like that, but it's paint. And there's something about painting. It's very, very relaxing.
I mean, you have me here. You have very intrigued by this idea that paint by numbers, right? It's a way to lower the bar in terms of what success is going to look like. You're just doing what it says, and you still get the relaxation and the joy of making something that looks...
Yeah, that's it. It's great. And some of them are really pretty. I got my sister one. Really good. All right, I got to get you one for your birthday. Don't take it off your list.
I was just on One Bad Mother, which just actually ceased production. That is a great podcast. I think they're going to keep the episodes up, but that ran for years. They just did their last episode. But Biz, who's the host of that one, she told me while we were recording, we didn't use these terms, but her extremely achievable self-care is she does a puzzle at night, like on the coffee table, and listens to podcasts. I only listen to podcasts usually. I mean, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I do it while I'm walking the dog or folding the laundry, like you were saying, or in the car. She sits, instead of watching TV at night, she sits and does a puzzle with a seltzer with a little syrup in it, maybe, and listens to podcasts. And that's when she does it. And she finds it a super relaxing, chill, nice alternative to TV. And I thought, that sounds kind of nice.
I'm a big puzzler. In fact, my husband and I, one of our back to ones, because we basically make dinner, help the kids with their homework, and then we have like one show before bed, and then we go to bed. That's pretty much every single night. And then occasionally we're like, do we want to watch this show we don't even care about that we hate? And I'm like, we could do a puzzle. And then we get a puzzle going. The problem is we're both like puzzle freaks, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And once the puzzle goes on the table, both of us have trouble. Like we'll stay up till 2:30 in the morning doing it. We have trouble like working a puzzle a little bit every night. We get a little, and we also do it on our dining room table. So basically it's like we can eat or finish the puzzle.
I'm okay with leaving the puzzle for multiple days as a concept. But yeah, that whole like, let me just find one more. Let me just find this little purple bird and then I can go to bed.
Yeah, we get a little crazy like that. All right, we'll be back with even more extremely achievable self-care.
My favorite skincare products actually feel more like self-care, like they're so nice to put on and they smell so good that I'm actually happy when I get to that part of my day. And I swear that is how I feel about Osea's anti-aging body balm.
Amy, you are usually the lotions and potions queen on this podcast, but I have to say, hard agree.
Osea's anti-aging body balm is a liquid silk body balm that combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the firming power of a serum, leaving skin smoother and firmer.
This body balm is clinically tested and designed to deliver visible results you can see and feel.
So we've gotten to use this product for a couple of months now, and I swear I have really noticed firmer and smoother skin, like on the back of my hands. It's like getting a mini spa treatment from head to toe.
Get a spring-worthy glow with clean, clinically tested skincare from Osea. And right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners.
Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code FRESH at OseaMalibu.com.
That's 10% off your first order with code FRESH at OSEAMalibu.com. Amy, when I'm having a good hair day, it usually makes my whole day better. And that's why on every day, I'm taking Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. And it's the #1 hair growth supplement brand personally used by dermatologists. Nutrafol's hair growth supplements are peer-reviewed, NSF certified for sport, and clinically tested.
Nutrafol offers multiple formulas for men and women tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors, so you get support that's actually right for you. Adding Nutrafol to your daily routine is easy. Order online, no prescription needed, with automated deliveries and free shipping to keep you on track.
Let your hair be one less thing to worry about. See visibly thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair in 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol.
For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you visit Nutrafol.com and enter promo code LAUGHING.
That's Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code LAUGHING.
And now, practicing self-care before kids versus practicing self-care after kids from the What Fresh Hell podcast. Before kids.
I'm going to luxuriate in a nice hot bubble bath and let all of my cares just soak away.
After kids.
I'm going to let the kids play age-inappropriate video games for 20 minutes and let myself shave at least one of my legs in the shower.
Before kids.
I'm going to take some time out to make a nice, healthy meal for myself and enjoy it sitting on the patio in communion with nature.
After kids.
I'm going to move this leftover mac and cheese to a plate instead of eating it straight out of the pan.
Before kids.
Spa day. Some hot stones should really relax my lower back.
After kids.
I'm going to allow myself 4 very deep breaths after letting the kids out at the drop-off line.
Before kids.
1 facial serum for day, 2 facial serums for night.
After kids.
I'm just going to clean my face off with this nearby baby wipe.
Before kids.
I've bought this sunrise alarm clock to gently wake me without disrupting my sleep cycle.
After kids.
I've produced 3 humans who shriek at me for breakfast starting at 6:15 a.m.
Before kids.
I need to get to the beach and sit in the sand and soak up some sun. It's so restorative.
After kids.
The beach? Are you serious? We're not going to the beach. I'd have to be insane.
This has been Practicing Self-Care Before Kids versus Practicing Self-Care After Kids from the What Fresh Hell podcast. All right, Amy, I'm going to share with you my own extremely achievable self-care that I thought of yesterday. So back in the day, I've always loved a nap. Like a good nap to me is heaven on earth. But I struggle napping now. Either I've got too much on my mind or I'm like, I should be doing something, or like my husband and I just took a vacation for the first time in years and years and years without our kids. And I took a nap every single day because it's vacation. Like I got nowhere to be. Like I love that kind of nap. I find when I'm home though, occasionally if I've been out, running around all day and maybe had a drink with lunch, I'll take an hour nap afterwards. But just taking a nap generally is very elusive to me right now in terms of then I don't fall asleep, then I wasted my time and I didn't even fall asleep. And so I have invented a new system and it's warm bed hour. And I just set an hour on the clock and I just crawl into bed and I just concentrate on being relaxed and warm for 1 hour. And like sometimes I fall asleep and sometimes I don't. But it's not a nap. It's just warm bed hour.
Can you read during warm bed hour?
No, I just am in bed, cuddled down. If I read, the hour starts once I put the book down. It's an hour that I give myself because the glory of it is just to warm up and lay down and relax and just let my mind wander. And probably 80% of the time I fall asleep. But if I don't fall asleep, I don't feel like I failed at my task of taking a nap. I just took my warm bed hour. And sometimes after 30 minutes, I'll be like, oh, I'm warm enough and relaxed enough and I'll get up. But I give myself a full hour. It's my time.
I'm understanding now that the key is, John Acuff has this book called Finish, which I love. And it's about how do you finish the stuff that you start or the finish things that are important to you. And one of his basic tips is you need to make your goals, at least in the beginning. You need to break things down, but you need to make your wins, bring the first win really close to you. And so it's like, we were saying like, okay, painting I find stressful because I'm so bad at it. We'll do a paint by number. I try to meditate and my mind is wandering. Okay, just do warm bed hour. Don't be mad at yourself that you didn't fall asleep or you don't like meditating. It's just warm bed hour and you just Make it simple.
That's what I'm doing for now. I'm just going to be warm in my bed.
You can't fail. You can't do it badly. Warm bed hour.
That's it. When I ran the marathon, I read this great book called Running a Marathon for Non-Runners because I hadn't ever run at all. And the first chapter was like, do not attach secondary expectations to running the marathon because you don't want to run 26.2 miles and be like, oh, but I didn't lose weight, so it doesn't really count. Oh, but I didn't do it fast enough. Your only goal is to run 26.2 miles or finish 26.2 miles. And I think of that in so many aspects of my life that I have a little bit of that story of, well, if I didn't relax the entire time, then the massage was somehow a failure. And if I didn't fall asleep, then I wasted time napping. Like, you're not wasting time. You're giving yourself an hour off to be quiet and not on your phone and just sitting there with your eyes closed. And sometimes I get good ideas, or sometimes I think through a problem I'm having with someone, or sometimes I think really mean thoughts about someone who's done me wrong and it makes me feel better. Like, it's the only goal is to lie still for an hour and relax.
This one's from Emily, and I really like it. She controls the lighting around her house so it always feels warm and cozy and welcoming. I'm insane about the lighting in my house, but I don't do what Emily does. She has twinkle lights up inside year-round. Emily says they go across the top of the kitchen cabinets and up the banister. They're on timers to come on before sunset and go off just after we go to bed, and then on again right before we get up in the morning and off after we left for school. Party lights on the back patio, instant vacation vibes. Proper lighting is so good for your brain. I totally agree with this. I'm very particular about what kind of light bulbs I use and having sort of dim lighting in the house at night because I'm photosensitive. Flashing lights or LED lights really bother my eyes. I find them almost like they hurt, so it's kind of agitating. But yeah, I think, like, why not have fairy lights? And they're not just for dorm rooms. If they make you happy, have them on in your house.
I remember the year we moved back from the West Coast to the East Coast and the first Christmas season, and it gets dark in New York at 4:30 sometimes. And I was really struggling with it. And then the minute the Christmas lights went up, it was like, oh, Christmas lights are about fighting the darkness.
Right. They're at the darkest time of year. Yeah, yeah.
And we did the same thing. We have like these big cafe light bulbs that ring our whole outdoor deck so that it shines in and fighting the darkness. And people sometimes laugh at us. They're like, oh, your Christmas lights are still up. I'm like, until daylight savings, I'm not taking anything down that provides light in the darkness. And I find that when the light changes, I always say it's my favorite day of the year. Like, you keep every other day. Forget my birthday. I like the day it gets light again at night.
We get it back. Julie says, I write a daily note to myself, a journal entry, you could say, and a Google Doc on her phone. It's a way to check in with myself as to how I'm feeling, helps me take my own temperature and how I'm managing the chaos in my life. I've been doing this forever. It's quite effective. It only takes a few minutes and is informative in retrospect. Yeah, this sounds to me like a habit you should do in order to be a more fulfilled person, but it can instead be something that actually brings you relaxation, joy, clarity, right?
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't have to be to make yourself better. It's just if it makes you feel better. That's the whole test. We have a bunch of people talking about crafting of different forms. Lillian, knitting, crochet, quilting, embroidery. Lee Ann says cross-stitching. I am not a craft person. Alexandra also says knitting. My mother was a voracious knitter. I mean, she loved to knit, and she knit all the time. And when we were school age, she went back to school and got a social work degree, and she knit all through all of her classes. It just helped her think. I remember she had to get low noise knitting needles because she didn't want to get, it would drive some people crazy. But yeah, I knit for a little while, and obviously my anxiety or my tension or whatever, everything I knit would turn out like bulletproof because I would knit so tightly because, again, I was trying to do it right. And I think that you could get rid of that with time. But a craft project, I could see becoming a crafter in the near future.
Well, knitting is so interesting because it kind of reminds me of rosary beads. Once you're good at it, you can do it without looking at it. And you're half paying attention. You enter this sort of meditative state where you can do it while you're doing something else. Keeps your hands busy, keeps a part of your mind busy, but not all of it, which is a little bit different than painting. or even doing a puzzle, which requires your full attention, I can see that knitting would be super chill.
Yeah, I can definitely see a craft phase. My sister is a cross stitcher. I was into sewing for a little while. I got really into sewing. And then again, I'm a jack of many trades. I don't like to commit.
Sewing, it's a whole shirt. You got to bring the wind closer, right? It just seems, even knitting. I learned to knit for a play, and now I kind of remember it, but I couldn't do it. But I could pick it up again, I guess. But I never got over the
I like the idea that you have something at the end, you know? Like I made my husband a man's Oxford shirt, and it was really, really hard, but it was cool.
Laura says, bare feet in the grass. Like people always say, go touch grass as an insult.
Touch grass.
But she says bare feet in the grass resets her nervous system so quickly. Certainly looking at grass, hearing tweeting birds resets my nervous system. I haven't actually tried earthing. I believe Gwyneth Paltrow calls this earthing. I don't think she made that up.
I am a person, my sisters-in-law in Texas always laugh at me because they are very outdoorsy and I am so indoorsy. And even the sentence, my bare feet in the grass, I feel my shoulders going up like, ew, that's not appealing to me. But I can see it being appealing for some people. I prefer to see my nature with a cocktail in my hand from the deck.
On the treks, which doesn't get hot.
But I don't want to ever touch the grass.
Put your feet in grass? Because what if it's wet?
What if it's wet? It's spiky. It's just not an appealing feeling to me. Dewy. Ooh, I'm not a fan.
I do believe in this whole that like bird song and grass and sky and whatever, that our nervous systems relax in a way that is very primal.
I love it as long as none of it touches me. They make fun of me because we go to a lake the last week of the summer and there's Adirondack chairs and everyone's sitting with their feet in the grass and I have to put a huge towel out. So no part of me is actually making contact. I'm the opposite of Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't want earthing. I want toweling only.
I wish I read this from Dina before I was just at Sephora today. Dina says her form of self-care, achievable self-care, she strolls the aisles of Sephora and Ulta and she tries testers and she compares colors or powder versus liquid like it's the most important thing in the whole world, leaves reality for a while, totally superficial, doesn't buy anything. Okay, that's the part that I left behind today. I was just there and it is fun to walk around like, do I want a matte lipstick? I think I want satin, but it needs to be moisturizing and it needs to be this, and trying the colors is fun. But then leaving without
buying anything is the best part.
Oh, right, exactly. I kind of forgot that part.
Mary King is my twin. She says, a hot bath, so hot my skin is pink. I turn off the lights in the bathroom so I don't see the mess and turn on spa music. I mean, bonus if you light a candle. That to me, my mother, I can still hear my mom. She died, I don't know, 8 years ago, something now. But whenever I would get hysterical about something and we'd be on the phone far from home, I'd be calling from California, she'd be like, you need to take a bath. And it's just so implanted in me that like soaking in a bathtub with soft music playing and a candle lit, even if you're in like the grimiest bath ever, to me, that is the ultimate good feeling. I just love it. Calgon, take me away. There used to be an ad way back in the day. And it was a lady, I think she had like a turban towel on her head, but her kids were screaming and the toast was burning and the phone was ringing. And then there was this stuff, Calgon, and you could put it was like
just bubble bath. Yeah.
Bubble bath for grown-ups, basically. And she would say, Calgon, take me away. That's my life motto, Calgon, take me away. They haven't manufactured Calgon this century, I don't think, but Calgon, take me away.
And it is the kind of thing like when I do this stuff, right? When I take a bath, like, oh, that sounds hard. That sounds like a whole production. And then it takes 5 minutes to run a bath. And it is immediately and incredibly relaxing. So for me, the takeaway from all of this is you deserve this. You deserve to take a bath, which takes 15 minutes instead of a shower, which takes 4. These are achievable. And if you need to make them even shorter and more achievable and free and whatever, they're still available and they're worthwhile.
Love it. Amy, one form of important self-care that we did not mention.
Oh, no. What was it?
Leaving a rating and review for the What Fresh Hell podcast. What could be more soothing?
So important. You'll feel so good about yourself. It'll only take you a minute, 90 seconds. You know where we could use some reviews? We're always sending people to Apple Podcasts, which is the place to leave reviews. But Spotify. A lot of people, more people are using Spotify these days to search for podcasts. So if you listen on Spotify or you're on Spotify for something else, search us up and throw us some stars.
Yeah, it sounds so relaxing to me. It's what we want for you, for your self-care today. And with that, friends, we are done for this week. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
So long.